You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's such a blessing to meet survivors and to hear their stories and to know how strong they are and how they've had to be, not just for themselves, but for their families. And we've got some beautiful ladies with us that are going to share a little bit about themselves and their journey. I'm going to look at my woman to my left. How are you?
I'm doing well, Pat. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now listen, we want you to share some things about yourself and kind of tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell us who you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my name is Shirley Plummer, and this is my second time engaging in this event, and I just think it's a wonderful event for all types of cancer, not only breast cancer. But my journey began 1 year, 11 months, and 1 day ago. And it has been a journey. So the first thing I would like to say is that I would just like to thank God for allowing me to be here one more day.
Yes.
Just one more day to give him all the glory and all the praise. And another thing I would like to say is that I would like to say to everyone out there, please get your mammograms. Please get your mammograms. But my journey began, as I said, 1 year, 11 months, and 1 day ago. And I started just wanting to hurry. Wanting to hurry because I had almost allowed the end of the year to come without having gotten my annual exam. And so I went in and I had, you know, my mind on just hurrying and getting out. And actually, my technician was Lori in the mammography department. And so my mind was elsewhere, as I said, getting out. And after we went through the exam, and she started talking to me and asking me questions. And my mind was not on what she was saying to me. I was wanting to hurry and get out. And so finally she asked me a question, then another. And then it was about the third question before it really occurred to me that she was, you know, asking that something was not normal.
Right.
And so I finally turned to her and I said, is there something wrong? And she didn't have to utter a sound. She didn't have to utter a sound. It was written all over her face, but her response to me was, you can't leave. I need to call your doctor's office for some additional tests.
And you know, as a woman, when you hear something like that, something goes on within you on the inside.
Correct.
Introduce yourself, okay? And tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Merle Brown, and I am 4 years breast cancer free. And I would encourage all young women, all women, please get your yearly mammogram. That saved my life. Because I went for my annual checkup, and I saw something that wasn't there the year before. So I was blessed. God was so gracious that they found my cancer early enough that I had options. I chose the mastectomy because I didn't want the chemo and I didn't want the radiation. So I've been taking 1 pill a day for the last 4 years, and I get very emotional. But I'm cancer free. And August of next year, God's willing, I will come off of that 1 pill. So I just want young people, women of all ages as a matter of fact, to get their mammogram every year.
And that's such a blessing.
It is.
God is so good.
Is.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You know, and we say that because a lot of young girls don't even think about that, you know. And I think for me, I am proactive. I do check, you know, and I even tell my husband, you know, ask him, do you feel something? Does something feel off? And I'll you know, when I'm having my yearly, you know, I ask questions, or I say, check this out, you know, to my gyno, and then, you know, when it's time for the mammogram, Lori and Lizzie, they know how I am.
They're wonderful, aren't they?
You know, they really do. And so for your cases, you know, tell us about, you know, when you know, your support system, because when you're going through the things that you all have had to go through, it's so important, and it's such a blessing when you have a support system.
Yes. Well, my support system started that day with Lori. As the technician, she offered me her cell phone number. We shed tears together, And, you know, it was just so overwhelming. I mean, I was just devastated. And she offered me her cell phone number. And she said to me, if you need to call me, call me. So my support system started that day. Yes, and I say thank you to Lori.
Oh, wow.
And of course, you know, friends and family and co-workers and, you know, church members.
Yes, ma'am.
It takes them all.
Yeah.
It really takes them all. So,
Amen.
you know, anytime you hear the word cancer, your life changes instantly and permanently.
Right.
You know, it's a life-changing event. And the word cancer is such a frightening word.
It is. It is.
It's
It
such
is.
a frightening word.
And I think a lot of people, you know, even fear going to the doctor because they don't want to hear that. You've got some who, you know, when you talk about all different types of cancers, colon cancer, prostate cancer, cervical, ovarian, when you know, people fear even going to the doctor because they don't want to hear
Those words.
the C word.
Yeah.
Tell us about your support system, Ms. Merle.
Well, my support system was very strong. First of all, I'm thankful that I do know the Lord.
Amen.
And when I went for the results of my test, my son and his wife, two of my grandkids, they all wanted to go, which was fine.
Yeah.
And I asked my doctor, I said, is it okay if you talk to all of us? And he said, that's fine. So that way I didn't have to keep repeating
Right. They heard
what
it
he
from
said.
they heard it
Exactly.
from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had just knowing that God knows,
Yeah.
that helped tremendously. Knowing that I had people praying for me and
Yes.
just being there for me. And I was in a place where I could say, well, God, if you let me live, you know I'm going to talk about your goodness.
Yes. Yes.
But if you call me home, that's cool too.
Wow.
So, and that's the attitude that I've had, that I know he'll never leave us.
Amen.
But he expects us to do our part.
Right.
And
right.
our part is to go get exams, to examine ourselves,
Right.
and then do what we need. And don't be afraid if
Don't
you
be
find a
afraid.
lump or
Yes.
something. Go see what it is.
That's right.
You know, so I just thank God and thank God for my children, my
Amen.
grandchildren,
Yes, ma'am.
my daughter-in-laws who were supportive beyond measure.
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
just thank God for the support that I did have and still do have.
And still do have.
Yes.
And you know, there's a scripture that says faith without works is dead.
Dead.
So it's not enough for us to just to have faith if
Right.
we, you know, if we're not doing anything
Yes.
to make, you know, to keep ourselves healthy, to get those exams, to, you know,
Yeah.
to do what the doctor says, you know. And so we are so thankful for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us. We're so thankful that you are able to share your stories, that you are touching the lives of many through by the life that you live. And you know, and when you're going through something like this, it's not always easy because you have your good days as well as your bad days. And you too, you've come over that hurdle.
Yes.
You're yet able to talk about it, yet still, you know, faithful, women of faith.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're still proactive, and that's what the ladies out there need to be. And so thank you both for sharing with us. Good to see you, Miss Merrill.
Thank you.
You know I got to squeeze you.
Yeah.
And Miss Shirley, you know it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
This is Miss Shirley and Miss Merle, ladies and gentlemen.